Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
And Scotty Allwood. I'm right here with my shirt off as a treat to Vince. I lost a bet with myself, and I have to do this shirtless.
You know, this mic is actually way up high. I didn't know you were shirtless until I was just kind of like, oh, you are.
This whole time, we talked for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I wasn't like, what is he wearing today? Scott, what are you wearing?
You were just looking at yourself, and you know it. You don't even pay attention to what's going on my screen.
Look at how wide this mic is. It's just to be seen. Functionally, it can be lowered, but for some reason, I want the mic to be in the shot.
And just a little baby bit of it, like it almost seems strange. I brought us a little candle.
Oh yes, thank you. In honor of Marissa.
Yes, in honor of Marissa being a gone by. I don't know if you saw this, but he did this. He's like, oh, yes, Marissa.
All right, man. Well, hey, let's talk about Paramount Plus's the Challenge All-Stars, right? I feel like a lot of people just don't have Paramount Plus. Like, very few people watched the original spin-offs that were on MTV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of people don't know.
I feel like if it was on MTV, it'd probably perform just as well as those other spin-offs did. I don't think it would be much better, though. I love it so much more than even Double Agents, because again, this episode was just amazing from start to finish for me.
For sure. And this episode is called this is the 5th episode. Nuthin But an OG Thang. Thank you. And right away, I have a question. Okay, so Mark Long is a producer, right?
I don't think he's a producer anymore. I think he brought them the idea, and then from there they went, well, if you're going to be in the show, then we'll take over. So I think they took over producing things.
Okay, but also though, there's other ex-challengers that aren't participating, but are producers. Have you heard about that?
I have not. Is Mark a producer? Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah, but there's other ones. I don't remember the names at all anymore, but they're also producers. And I'm wondering if like one of them were like, hey, this is my only contribution, and this is the big thing. Put this amazing soundtrack on. Like the music for this episode was so great. Like I couldn't even remember all the songs because one would like eclipse the next, or you know what I mean? It was great.
I agree. Every episode has been plum filled with so many wonderful. Is that a saying? Plum filled? I don't know. But just great music all around.
Well, I'm plumb surprised that you don't know if that's a saying or not. So the beginning of the episode starts with them just talking about Arissa leaving. And I think it's Nehemiah who's like, hey, if you're not willing to do whatever, you shouldn't be here or whatever. And they cut to Cyrus. What?
Daryl said, I'm glad she's gone. If you aren't going to compete, you don't deserve to be here. But maybe Nehemiah said it too. But Daryl was like intense about it. And I keep calling him Daryl now because of Derek. But it's Darrell.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Sorry, I threw you off completely.
No. Okay, so Nehemiah did say something about like it's like TJ says, if you're not willing to compete, you don't, or something.
Yeah,
but anyways,
you're right.
Either way, though, at the very end of all that talk, they just cut to Cyrus and Alton, and I'm like, are they gonna get hurt? Are they gonna get injured? You know? And in a way, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna plague Cyrus the entire fucking episode. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah. Right away, let's acknowledge the past episode with Arissa taking off and shit and how angry she was. Did you read about like how she is allergic to gluten?
Oh yeah.
And Yeah, and someone ate her food, so she's like, I was starving there and shit like that, you know? So I feel like it should at least be mentioned.
in the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't, because I feel like that would have been a very good heated moment drama wise. But I guess they only have so much time, and maybe that was on an off day when they weren't filming. I don't know.
I mean, if she would have said, and I'm motherfucking starving, like I would be like, what? What do you mean? You know?
Well,
Yeah.
now that I think about it, the producers probably don't want that being put on blast like that. Like, no, we tried to get her food, but someone ate it, and we didn't give her more food. What? Why the fuck not? Uh, and now they're
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah, that is bad. So I don't know. I just feel like maybe maybe she doesn't deserve all the like, yeah, get the fuck out. Like when TJ's like, oh, thanks, see you never. I would be a producer like doink 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 on his shoulder, be like, oh, we actually fucking never fucking fed her, so maybe you shouldn't be such a goddamn jerk. You know?
Doink, doink, doink. Oh my gosh.
So in the house, we have some more Beth and Cyrus stuff. Their friendship is great. I love it.
I at this moment I was sitting there just thinking like, man, it's been cool seeing a bunch of them, but at the same time it's kind of a bunch of them. At least now this time it's more focused on Cyrus. I'm getting a little tired of seeing Beth, to be honest. I feel like I like Beth, but she's been so crammed down our throats these past few episodes, and I'm not seeing everybody else. I want to see everybody else too.
Well, you're gonna see everybody else after this episode, so you know, let's enjoy Beth while she's in our throats. All right,
All right.
enjoy
I'm
the
sorry.
ride. Be the sword swallower you know you are, son.
One thing that I appreciated about this was just seeing Cyrus's strong reaction to how he went out on the runes. Like he was not a fan of how he left the show, and that plays a lot into his decisions this episode, I feel like. So them showing clips of the runes and just kind of seeing his, I just love seeing people's opinions about their own time on the show and referenced at some point. So to be able to have this in this show is so cool to me.
That's pretty sweet. Well, it also kind of sucks because he's going to leave in a similar fashion. Like, you know, they showed that clip when he did lose to Cut, and he's like, God damn it. Like, he's just so enraged, you know?
Yeah.
And he's going to leave that same way. It really does suck because he's like, after they show that first Kahara shot or whatever, the Kahara win, he's like, it took me 11 years, but I'm back finally.
Yeah.
I want to right that wrong. And he doesn't.
Well, what sucks is that clearly he's wanted to come back for so long, and then they just never called him back, though. So it stinks that for 11 years he was interested in coming back. I don't know what season or where they could have fit him in, but I would have liked to have him around, man.
Yeah, I'm a fan, man. Cyrus the Virus. Okay, on the other side of the house, Derek tries to climb the fucking house, but he can't. But Alton can. I do remember him climbing on Battle of the Seasons and stuff. So he was climbing there. And then Gisela is like, ooh.
Your girl is interested in some Alton.
Yeah, this was very awkward because I'm sitting right next to her basically. And she's like, oh my God, look at him. I'm like, well, I'm right here. Yeah. Okay, so let's get to the mission.
Like that.
Yeah.
I just like seeing what's going on in the house and them goofing around and doing whatever. It was fun.
Yeah, this is more laid back. This is how their time used to be all the time. Just chill, fun for the most part. All right, let's get to the mission. It's called Connect 'Em All. This is a mini final. It's going to be 3 teams of 6. First, you're going to try and solve that puzzle, decode something. Then you got to grab a giant log with each other, go up. I don't know for how long. Do you remember? It looked pretty tough.
I don't think they ever actually said.
But it's like uphill a lot. It seems like a lot. It doesn't seem enjoyable, really. We're going to see a lot of teams struggle here. And then after that, they get to the pair part. They pair off guy and girl, and then they have to solve like a color combination. And then the final leg of it is you just take a mini log and then you run down the hill, I guess. So before all this starts, this is crazy. TJ's like, hey, you know that thing we only used once and it was last episode? You know that lifesaver thing? Yeah, forget it. We're done.
Do you think
sayonara?
Do you think they did that because it resulted in someone quitting? They were like, "Oh God, I swear, if this happens again, I don't know what we're gonna do." Well, we'll just take away the lifesaver then. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. But also, though, I believe, I mean, we're kind of jumping forward here. This is mid-season. I think there's only 10 episodes for the spinoff. Mm-hmm. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, there's definitely not many, so that's good.
What? What do you mean? You want less?
No, not necessarily, but it's going to be good. I'm okay with it. Listen, we just got done with the 20 episode season of Double Agents. Like, I'm okay with this one being 10 episodes. Okay. Even though I would prefer this one to be more.
I can agree with all that. It just really sucks that this is such a huge cast. And that's what really sucks. Make it smaller next time if it's going to be this short. Yeah. But, I mean, the double elimination, but we'll get into that. I mean, that's a good way to trim the population, man. Okay, so, and then after the lifesaver thing, Cyrus casually says, "Oh yeah, I was walking out of the house, I tripped and I hurt my ankle and I'm fucking useless." It was not useless, but it's gonna bring him down. It's gonna be his fall.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and I'm really interested in what the fudge he did to his ankle, because if it was it really he was just like and twisted his ankle like that, or was he doing something goofy like the guys were doing, trying to climb up the wall, or was it on a day they weren't filming? I want to know the details of this. Hey, Cyrus, if you're watching, let us know the details of it, man. Put it in the comment section.
Yeah. Oh, maybe you shouldn't, because I'm very bad at responding. So never mind, Cyrus. Don't even bother, dude.
Yeah, just forget it.
Walk away.
Just forget it.
All right, let's talk about that first checkpoint where it's the math equation, and then you've got to uncover and it makes a letter. It's like legends never die, and your past is fucking here to stay, or something like that, right?
I've got some details of all that if you want to hear them.
Yeah, let's hear them.
Well, do you want to talk about who's on whose teams and stuff like that, or
who's on first? I have all that written down. They're on these little.
The first checkpoint is using the letter and number key. Solve each individual math equation to reveal a number that corresponds to a letter. When you complete all the math equations, you will uncover your phrase and race to checkpoint 2. The first one that the first team solved, we can get into, but I think we should discuss teams first.
In order that they finish?
Hell yeah, let's do that.
All right, do you got it? You got it written down? I have it.
I do, but you go. You let us know.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I have fucking Copper first with Mark and Ruthie. I have it written down by the pairs that they pair off later on, too.
Well, the Copper team was Big Easy, Katie, Mark, Anissa, Ruthie, and Darrell. The Gold team, well, I guess the Copper team here, they ended up having The Game Never Stops, which I find is super easy compared to the other two that they had. Because even
the other two?
The other two sayings?
Yeah.
Oh, the other two were The Past is Haunting, and then the other one was Your Past Never Dies.
Well, so yeah, that's like haunting is huge. Yeah. What the fuck?
But Big Easy actually pretty much solved The Game Never Stops for their team. Darrell's like, hey, I'm thankful for his Wheel of Fortune skills, and he should be, because also that was just way too easy in comparison to the others. I feel like they have a good
Easy.
handle of I feel like they have a good handle of making sure to knock the puzzles down now, which we saw a few times. So they could have made all these the same at this point.
Right. It's really funny because Mark and Ruthie pair off. They're on the team and stuff, and they're working on this stuff, and then they solve the puzzle, and it made me think of like that was the first time ever we saw that experience of where you have to get rid of that puzzle so the other team can't copy them. On that final Battle of the Sexes one, it was Mark versus Ruthie on their respective teams. Ruthie solves the puzzle first, and they take off. They don't tear it down. It's unheard of. And that's when Mark's like, huh? And he looks and he finds it.
Oh, yeah. No way.
So that's the origin. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to talk about gold?
Yeah, Kendall, Derek, Gisela, LT, Kellyanne, Nehemiah. And then they had the one that is past his haunting. So it's a little more difficult, but they still end up getting it done second, which then we go to the third team, which is the silver team, and that's Cyrus, Yes, Jimmy, John A, Beth, and Alton. And they have Your Past Never Dies, which is insane. Because that's not something you can start to read and then go, oh, this is what it's going to say. And also, dude, they had a huge fucking log. What was that about?
A bigger log?
Yeah, that thing was thick.
I have a small assumption. I think that the faster you are, you have your choice of log. They're not all cut to the exact same whatever, because I remembered when everyone's leaving the second part where they're paired off, Big Easy gets to finally take off. He's second to last, man. And his log, everyone else's were like, the size of a double A. No, I'm just saying his log was significantly bigger by the time that he actually got away from there. Okay. So that's what I assume.
That would make sense.
But doesn't it? Yeah, but it's like they're already slower. Why do they have to carry even heavier log? That does suck. Fuck. Okay, do you want to move on to the running part with the log run?
Yeah.
All I have written down are the people that suffer on their respective teams.
Let us know.
For Copper, which is currently in first place, that's Big Easy. And I got flashbacks to Gauntlet 3, where he's like fucking dying and shit.
Well, this time they actually slowed down for him because he was like, all right, you guys ready to keep going? And he's like, fuck no, don't do it. And then they're like, okay, we'll just take a break, which is good. Right.
Yeah, I think I don't think they suffered as much as the other teams, like Big Easy really kind of proved himself a little bit.
Yeah. I agree. He did well this mission for sure.
Okay, and then for gold, which is in second place, that's where Gisela, she's just like she's like fucking panting like horribly. Yeah. It was kind of tough to see her go through that. But I mean, the girl is
you were there. Yeah. You were there for support, watching her, making sure she got through it though.
So I was holding a log.
Okay.
I was there. I felt there, Scott.
Good Lord.
All right, man. You want to talk about silver?
Well, Alton, of all people, is just gasping for air as if he couldn't get oxygen into his body or something. I don't know what was happening. We never really got like a specific reasoning from him or anyone around, but he was having some trouble going up that jog, whatever it was. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that he smokes, so that could be a factor. He's a smoker.
Wow. That's nuts. Well, do you remember the last time we saw him was on Battle of the Seasons 2012? And remember they were like pulling each other and wearing horse masks and shit, and he had to be put on oxygen after that?
Oh, I do not remember that, but
Yeah.
okay, that makes more sense because I was not expecting any him to struggle of all people. Because like people around him, they're going, dude, he's a physical specimen of strength and speed and blah blah blah. So yeah, that was a little bonkers to me to see. But I'm glad he's okay. I love Alton.
You really can't smoke on these things. I mean, they like look what happened to CT on X's one. You know, that was his downfall. A fucking pack of smokes rolled up in his shirt and shit. Yeah. All right, so let's get to checkpoint 2, shall we? This is where they break off in pairs, and Darrell's like, these colors are so fucking, there's so many different shades that he's kind of getting dizzy and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
I can totally see it.
This looks super hard because even when he was describing them, they put the colors next to each other, and it was just like, how are these different colors? They look so similar.
Do you have anything written down? I mean, like a lot of people say like check, and a lot of them get it wrong. This is a very difficult portion of puzzles here.
I don't have anything. This is kind of when I start to just get into the mission, so I stop taking notes, unfortunately. But I remember everyone kind of pairing off, and I thought this was super interesting to watch how these teams of 6 suddenly had to go, you and me, cool, let's do it. Because some people were just in it and going, yeah. And then other people were like, who wants to be my partner? It was, I didn't think I would like how this would play out, but I really did enjoy seeing the struggle that ensued because of this. I don't think they've ever had to do something like that in the show.
What do you mean? Like split off and then come back together, or what do you mean?
Yeah, to be in a team and then go down to a smaller team and then go down to by themselves. Because you're trying to win with this team, but then you also have to know you're going to split off at some point, and then you have to pick someone to split off with, but you're still trying to like beat that person because there's only one winner, as he was saying.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have written down just the pairing off and stuff. The people that are like, oh shit, I gotta be with Big Easy. It's Katie, but they work together. They've worked together before. They were original Fresh Meat partners. Nehemiah's like, I gotta be with Gisela, but he doesn't make too much of a stink about it. He's like, she could be good at puzzles. I believe that's what he says. But yeah, it was so weird when Johnny was drawn the short straw of being with Alton. That was such a bizarre twist of things, Okay, so after this, I just have people finally taken off. I just have the first about 5 finishers because after that they don't really show in order. Right. Let's talk about Laterrian.
Freaking what? Like him and Kendall getting that puzzle done, and then you're thinking someone's going to be right behind him and catch up or something, but no, like he just killed it and he won. That is insane. That's so cool. Like I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, didn't he say it's like it's been 18 years since my last win or something like that?
Yeah. But what a mission to win though. The one that's a mini final. Very impressive. Very cool.
Is your phone on, Scott?
No. What are you talking? I followed the rules, Vince. Please don't lash out at me. Oh gosh, guys, he's gonna yell at me after the
podcast. Okay, so Laterrian, Derek comes in second place. He zips by Kendall. And Kendall says something about like, I half expect Kellyanne to surpass me anytime soon, but she doesn't. And when Kellyanne was talking, she was saying like, God damn it, it's me and Kendall. She said this a time in another episode. I wonder if we're eventually going to see these two fucking throw down in a final, an elimination. But they're kind of pumping each other up in a way. It's cool.
Yeah, there's definitely something brewing here that's going to pay off at some point. And I'm for it, but also at the same time, I like Kendall and Kellyanne. So I'm like, no, just help each other. Yeah, be friends.
They no, this is going to be the battle of the yoga pants, right? Like that's what they do. It's going to be great. I can't wait till they throw down and
I did like a moment. I did like a moment when Kendall crossed the finish line. Derek yells, "Road Rules is not dead," because they both did well, and they're both from Road Rules.
Letarian too, right?
I don't know.
Letarian, Derek, Kendall is no, yes is yes shows up, and then Kellyanne. I think the first four were Road Rules, man.
Oh wow. Okay. Sweet. I wasn't. I'm not familiar with LT's original stuff.
Well, let's see here. He said that he was eliminated by Alton in the Gauntlet 1. Was Alton Real World or was he Road Rules?
Alton was Real World, so that would make sense.
Oh, okay.
He is Road Rules.
Hey, we solved it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. All right. Okay, but last place is going to be Cyrus and Beth. Cyrus is automatically going into elimination. So let's talk about the house, right? And this is an awesome scene. Cyrus is sitting there. This is always that scene where, they're asked, like, who do you want and shit. Alton shows up, kneels down, like, what do you want, man? And Cyrus is like, I think it's going to be us. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah. Alton's like, what? Why? Why do you think that? Big Easy should be going in. I expected to come over here and you say Big Easy and me go, yeah, cool. But now you're saying you want me? What?
And then, I wonder if Alton went down there saying, like, you're not going to call out the man who asked you who you want. You're going to check it out. You're going to say, like, I don't know. Alton,
I don't think that I don't think Alton thought he was going to say anything about.
I know. I was kind of making that up.
But,
I just love this scene. It was awesome.
Yeah, because it gets to that moment where Cyrus is saying that he wants him, and then Alton is like, dude, I don't want to have to eliminate you. But he says it in such a way that it's like nice, but at the same time, like, that's going to happen, right? If you say that you want me and you get me, I'm going to eliminate you. So yeah, just this scene was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is kind of genuinely saying, like, hey, Cyrus, you want to go for it. That's awesome. And other people are like, what are you doing? Don't take Alton. He's a nightmare.
As I was watching this play out, I started thinking, why would Cyrus be wanting to go against Alton and not Big Easy? And then I started thinking about how he last went out on the runes against Cohutta, and he didn't like that at all. And then now he has an ankle injury. So if he goes into elimination with an ankle injury and he's put in against Big Easy and loses to Big Easy, it's another stroke, like another mark on his record of, I lost to Big Easy. So if he goes in and loses against Alton, no one's going to say anything about that. So Cyrus got this little plan of, oh man, he's the reason I lost because, he's breathing hard and slowed me down.
You don't agree?
And I don't think that was the case. I think that it was because
he fucking almost died.
They were fine. Cyrus lost on that puzzle just like Alton said. I'm on Alton's side on this.
Okay.
I like Cyrus, but fuck you, Cyrus. I know what you're up to. I know what you're up to.
I mean, I like it if either way, if you're right or if I'm right. I just like this whole idea where he's just like, I'm going to call you out. Or like Alton shows up. Hey man, how's it going? You're going in. I love it. And then, so nomination happens. Mark, again, propping himself into a power position. He's just like, I talked to the man we call Cyrus, and he said to me, Mark, go forth and say it was Alton that I requested or whatever. But Alton is quick to be like, I think it should be the bottom two, you know, so Big Easy and shit like that. I mean, it makes sense to me. I was like, yes, put him in, you know, even though I thought it was cooler that Cyrus wants to go against Alton, and they should. I also was like, no, Cyrus, you have a way better shot against Easy, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want Easy to be there, so I would have much preferred, you know, and I feel like during this elimination, the two of them would have had a better shot against each other, as opposed to Alton, who is, as Derek called him, Spider-Man. But even this nomination was so perfect. Like everything about it was just intense, and everyone was talking to each other, and everything everyone said to the other person was just like, oh, I was glued to the screen, man. Such a good show. This episode is amazing.
I think Nehemiah said Derek's name, and then Derek was like, fuck you, Nehemiah, and shit. I wonder if that was genuine. Because they were just burning on each other.
Right. You know? And then even then, people are going, don't burn your votes, guys. Like, come on, don't do that. And I'm like, yes, don't, because that's annoying and stupid. And what are you doing?
All right, so let's get back at the house. I mean, it ends up being Alton, right? So Alton walks up and he's like, hey, Cyrus, it's you and me, man. And then Cyrus goes up to like shake his hand. But to me, I thought Alton was clearly into the house by the time Cyrus got his old ass off the fucking picnic table. Like, ugh.
I agree. So I didn't. Yeah. Because
I didn't think so.
He was like at the spot where he was at already going inside, and then he stands up when he's right here. So anyway, that was stupid, but I love Alton's reaction to playing that off. Can't shake the wrist that I'm going to break. Fuck, I missed you, Alton. Come back.
Okay, so the bar, let's get to it, man. What do they go up and they like point and like laugh at? Is it the bartenders in masks? And the shield? They're like, oh my god, oh, you're sheep, I tell you. I don't know what they were laughing at.
Don't know.
Well, while that's going down, fucking Gisela is fucking hitting on Alton, and Alton is like, yeah, man, like. That'll conclude when we get back to the house. But also Mark talks to Cyrus. Mark is just like, hey, I'm glad, you know, because he just wants Alton out, you know. Back at the house, it's Gisela and Alton. Gisela's like, I got some mountains you could climb, and Alton's like, I'm not gonna use a fucking thing.
Condom.
No. What is it? I thought I knew what it was. It's a C letter. It seems like condom, but mountain climbers use it. Fuck.
I'm not sure, man. All I know is that I love this couple, like this pairing, and how they're flirting with each other in the bedroom, and she's rubbing his leg, and then he's like, do you like me? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so fucking adorable.
Yeah, what did she was like, oh, that wasn't part of the plan or something like that. Like, I wasn't supposed to like you so much or something like that. Cute Columbine.
What? Come on.
It's a C word. It's gonna drive me nuts if I don't know it. It's a mountain climbing reference.
Whip out your phone if it's bothering you this much. And while you do that, I'll move us along.
Yeah, do it. Next morning, right?
Next morning. I don't know. You didn't whip out your phone either, all right? So that was distracting me. All right, thank you. Next morning is the elimination, right? So I think it's the elimination time that we're going to be talking about now. He's on his phone. So Beth is at the elimination grounds with everybody else, and TJ walks up and tells them a little bit of a twisty twist. And the twist is that both people from the team are going to have to go into elimination. And what? This is nuts. This is insane. What do you mean? Beth isn't even in her gear, her challenge gear to go in elimination. As she says, she doesn't even have her tennis shoes. How is she supposed to be going into an elimination being partners with Cyrus? So the other person who is going into elimination is Alton. So Alton has a decision to make on who he wants to be his partner. So then he's sitting there going, well, who am I going to pick? Everyone's super scared that he's going to pick them, Gisela especially. And I'm like, but he's got to pick Gisela. They're new love. They got to fight together. They got to fight to be in this together. But she's like, fuck that. I don't want to be in there with your ass. So then
Scott, it was a carabiner. A carabiner.
Okay. So are you satisfied? Are you happy that you made me talk like a monotone weirdo? Just going through the motions. All right, guys. So this is what happened.
No, you know what saved that monotone performance? Performing it shirtless.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know how you do this by yourself ever.
Where are you? Where are you, bud? What was the last thing you said?
Alton is picking his partner for elimination.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I gained more respect for you doing this by yourself and making it interesting, because I could never just sit there and talk about the challenge episode without someone to talk to about it, because I just went into, these are the facts of the episode, this is what is happening, here we go.
You did just fine. You did just fine. You were a great steward. Yes. All right, so Alton, okay, he chooses Anissa. At first I was like, oh, you fool, but then I'm like, oh, she is pretty good, and especially compared to Beth.
I think that he chose her because of what elimination it was. I don't think...
the punching?
Yeah, the punching, the ball throwing. It makes sense that he would pick her for this. Nobody else would have done it as well. This was Anissa's one to win, no matter what.
The only thing that sucks, and I thought this was going to happen the last time, she only has to punch through those blocks one time, and the rest she's just running through.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
she was. She was technically having to throw the ball up too, wasn't she? So that was her one job.
Did she have to?
I think so. I think she had to throw the ball up, and then Alton had to jump over.
Oh shit! Because I thought Cyrus was throwing the ball over and climbing up and snapping his ankles. On the ground.
Maybe he was. Yeah. I don't remember exactly. I just thought that if anything, Anissa had to do that because, like you said, otherwise she's just running through.
Yeah. Okay, so this whole time though, I'm totally feeling his pain. Cyrus just horribly landing on his fucking ankle over and over again. Thank God Derek was like, dude, hang on to the sides and lower yourself down.
I have no idea why Cyrus was jumping the way he was. It was like he was trying to hurt his ankle even more. I have no fucking... Was he trying to break his ankle? It looked like he was, the way he was jumping. I've never rolled my ankle, but I know that I would not want to apply more pain onto it if I'm jumping off things. Shit.
There was a awesome moment. Again, this friendship's great. Beth is like, step on my back. She's like, all fours. But then he does. And she's like, oh my God, you're going to break my fucking back.
She was trying, man. She was trying everything.
Beth is so cute and adorable. Like before, where she's like, I got to stretch. I'm an old lady now.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
I was talking shit about Beth at the beginning of this podcast and how I was tired of seeing her, but I agree. Like everything about her in this elimination time was just amazing. She was great.
Okay, so in the end, Alton wins. I think they win like what, 5-2, 5-1, something like that.
Yeah.
So Cyrus and they're like, TJ's like, Anissa, you are 11 and 11.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't sound
like
great. It doesn't sound as great
like,
as you're making it sound, TJ. Come on.
It's like you were never here in Nisa. So both Cyrus and Beth are eliminated. Cyrus is fucking pissed, just like he was on the Ruins. And I want him to get that win. He was just like, I want my one-on-one with that motherfucker, Alton. Like, he really wanted to take him out and shit. So I hope that he comes back for like a regular season. That'd be cool.
Well, TJ said as they were leaving, like, hey, I'm certain we're going to see the both of you in the future. So it was like the next season of All Stars potentially, or are they coming back to the real show? Like, I'm loving the fact that TJ was so confident that they'll both be back, because I would love to see them both back as well.
Yeah, season 37. That's the new season?
Yeah, and they're not on it. So I'm assuming
season 38. Some stars. How about that?
There you go.
But okay, so Cyrus takes off fucking furious, but then Beth is like, I had fun. And right there I was just like, oh my gosh, Beth, I miss you so much. Like I've watched all the seasons and I never had a big a problem with Beth as everyone else did. I was like, I don't know. She does her thing. And she's great. So I hope she comes back. Yeah. That's the end of the episode, Scott.
I agree. Sorry, I was moving my cursor to get that out of my way. It was in my way. I couldn't see the full Vince picture right here. Now I can. So everything makes sense in the world again now.
Oh.
Good to see.
Yeah. Good. Thank God, because that could have interrupted the,
Hey, fuck you, and you're checking your phone, all right?
I didn't want to. I wanted it to just drive me nuts, and then I was going to scream it out loud at the end of the episode.
Okay.
Yeah, you told me to use the phone.
Yeah, because you kept interrupting about how you didn't remember.
All right, man. Hey, you know what? Like, subscribe, comment. This was Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
And Scotty Allwood.
And Scott
and
Allwood.
And Scotty Allwood. Bye.
It was him, guys. All along.